That
Yeah.
automatically thinking about stuff like that. Yo, actually speaking of like, how did you feel about like when you were performing for like that post club thing?
Postklub?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're asking something. That is
I'm just
because
talking.
it was a very interesting mentally experiment as well. So beside the results, like everyone can judge, and I don't care. I care, but I also don't care. The whole thing of living to this moment was so on the edge of okay, is with the nervosity. Nervosity, is that the right word?
Anxiousness or being nervous. But yeah, nervousness.
Nervous is in a positive thing till
Mhm.
the day itself. And I was like, why is this? And it was because it was stepping into a more DJ oriented scene. And from an outsider, I'm not a DJ. I cannot be a DJ, but I know that they are more in stereotyping, more related to I present this, I create this music, I make a constantly peak of attention of going somewhere. I also had the idea that I should achieve this quickly in my composition.
Mhm.
But it is not, it's like something else, of course, but you cannot, play constant like work of someone else that is telling a whole story. You have to be fully focused on what you are doing and what you're doing with your hands that is interesting for the listeners and not only for yourself. So because I know the sounds from the case, sometimes you think sounds can leave earlier and others stay longer that you don't want. So this is you are not working with a complete result of
Mhm.
saying, yeah, this is music, what we are doing with publications or like vinyls or when you release a track, it's fully mastered, it's fully well thought. People are working on it for months and it's there. And
Mhm.
with a live performance, with like Eurorack, with patching cables, you work on it, but you don't know the outcome yet.
Yeah.
And that is fine if your surrounding knows it. But if you do a performance for more DJ oriented target group, it makes me more nervous than if I present for whatever best designer for synthesizers, because they
I,
understand that it is a process.
yeah.
But DJs are completely different in and the entertainment of the stream.
Yeah. No, I can
And the
definitely.
moment Irakli stepped in, the moment when he stepped in, I was finally like releasing, like, and finally breathing again.
Yeah.
Uh, well, you are together as a partner and you are adding best of each other's on top of each other. So he made his loops in the DJ thing, like making certain loops that fits well, and then I put some sounds on top of it. Instead of I know that I was the fully only responsibility for the other minutes of balancing the sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's the thing. I really like playing together. If it is a musician, a hybrid setup with a DJ, or something because you can communicate and you don't have a monologue.
yeah. Yeah. No, yo, you're making me like homesick now, though.
Oh, what is this? Tell me, what is a homesick thing?
No, I mean because okay, I used to have like one of my best friends. Like we had this thing where I would be playing my thing, like so with the feedback manipulation, and he would be playing drums on like a sampler, yeah. So it was like very like compressed and like crunchy, having like extra sounds and stuff. In our mind, it was actually supposed to be more like improvised jazz, basically. Um, but actually, yeah, it was just improvised jazz. But instead of like drums from like a drum kit, it was drums on a keyboard, and instead of like horns or a keyboard or whatever. It was actually like this feedback manipulation. The thing is that I miss being able to like play with him, and we would just kind of like just lock into each other. It would be like so weird that we would literally play for like 30, 40 minutes. But like in that 30, 40 minutes, it almost sounds like we played like 6 different songs because for some reason we would at some point just stop and switch and go into a different like sonic direction, like all together. And we would sometimes do it like at the complete, just like drop it of a hat. It'll just be like I think we made like one, like 2 recordings because we were thinking about trying to put something out at one point. And when I go back and listen to it, there's like a point at like 7 minutes and 24 seconds where we both just stop at the same time. And then we kind of like, I guess, changed our settings and kind of like started to play in a slightly different rhythm, uh,
Uh-huh.
but with like a different kind of like riff. It was just like obviously like a completely different like song, even though that's
Mhm.
not the way we planned it. And I kind of like miss having that. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I'm just blabbing.
Yeah,
Blabbing. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
want.
The
I don't want.
playing together with someone is unique. It's like stepping out of yourself and mangling a new soup, a new recipe in sounds.
No,
And
it actually does. I honestly started to learn when I started to like play live. I felt like I learned a lot about myself personally, and I felt like I really started to grow as a person.